3. Let's see how this goes.
For me, I want to follow Sykesy a lot this game because I feel like the start of last game, he dropped the ball for his team. Vincent Wong got full feared, and he decided that was the best time to open on the other team. When I felt like, let Velido take some of the damage that they're going to put out and then open. He just opened immediately, and it kind of cost them a major cooldown from Vincent Wong. He immediately had to use wings as soon as he came out of that, so I feel like I want to see him wait a little bit more in the opener here.
Yeah, Sykesy is the target of choice once again. The full fear going out onto Vincent Wong. Sykesy going to have to run away, but it doesn't look like he's going to. Vincent Wong actually, I believe, trinketing out of that trap into a full Hodge. Eventually does have that Avenging Wrath up right now, so he's going to be doing a significant amount of damage. Sykesy actually using his Incarnation as well as his Berserk. He's already used 1 tick of Survival Instincts as well, so already so many cooldowns forced by TURTASTIC, by Jail. So yeah, this is looking really, really good for Jail. Unfortunately, they're a little bit low right now, and Viable taking quite a bit of damage, having to use that deterrence. So TURTASTIC making sure with their offensive cooldowns, they're at least forcing Jail semi-defensive.
Yeah, and Joxy actually got caught into several cyclones there, so Inviolable is still low. If they can connect to him and put out some additional damage, they may have been able to force out his second deterrence, but it looks like he is going to get an opportunity to catch a couple heals from Joxy and top back off again, which means that TURTASTIC is just going to turn back around onto Evangeline. Evangeline just up and dies. Just so much damage coming out from TURTASTIC there out of nowhere. Evangeline had basically no time to, like, he could have bubbled, he could have bopped, he could have done a ton of different things there, but the damage just came so fast that he didn't even have time to recognize that he was about to die.
It hurts to see it, man. Again, I think another game we had earlier, Evangeline didn't bop himself when he had the chance to, and now no bubble. But that was a really fast kill. Okay, yeah. I want to see the replay on that because he died.
Or Milo to live. What's his name again?
Joxy.
Yeah, Joxy. Yeah, so it can be hard for Joxy to live if Vincent, Wong, Velido, and Sykesy decide to do sort of like an all-in strategy. I think this can be a difficult matchup, but it's definitely winnable. Basically, we're going to be looking for Mames to throw a clutch Shockwaves. If he's playing Shockwave, he's going to have to come back and get those charge stuns, the double charge stun with the Blitz and Warbringer, and to make sure he's pressuring Vincent Wong as much as possible, because I think ultimately Vincent Wong is going to be the target that goes down.
Yep, so Jail bringing out the Turbo Cleave here. Just so you guys are aware, Mames, that is Losa, Inviablast, that is, of course, Inviable, and Milorada is Joxy. We will probably end up calling them by the names that are on the screen just because it's a little bit confusing otherwise, but just so you guys are aware, it is the same team members. Inviable already taking a lot of damage here right off the start, actually going to have to use his Shamanistic Rage, and that may still not even be enough. Just look at the ridiculous amount of pressure he's under right now. Joxy doing his best to try and keep him alive, but gets caught into that full bash, and now Inviable just having to sort of run away. He's trying to stay aggressive onto Sykesy right now, but with all this damage coming out, he may not be able to.
Yeah, and I'm sure this is something they practice, but you have to keep in mind these are 2 alt classes we're dealing with here, so probably not as experienced in these classes, and it's going to show throughout this match if they are under a lot of pressure. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to open with a lot of damage to see what they do, to see what they could force. They already got the Heart of the Wild out of Joxy right away, and they're under pressure completely. There's a bop on the Sykesy right now. I think he's going to take that off immediately. Yeah, he just gets the Incarn, and it looks like they want to put damage onto Joxy, and they have the double rake stun. He does have Barkskin up, so good use of that, and he has Heart of the Wild, so he should be fine for now.
Yeah, he did get gripped in, so that means as soon as that stun ends on him, he's going to be able to displace away. So that might be something to consider for Sykesy and Velido. They might need to try to get onto him before they grip him, but it looks like Inviable is taking quite a bit of damage as well. Joxy doing everything he can, throwing out those trends, so it really hasn't been too much pressure on a TURTASTIC yet. Vincent Wong, of course, does have his Avenging Wrath still. He still has his Bubble, he still has his Trinket. Inviable, though, having to use that Shamanistic Rage, the full Strangulate going out onto Joxy. He does have his Trinket available too. Soul Reaper has been put out onto him, so it looks like he is going to be the target of choice, but unfortunately he displaces away, caught into the full bash though. Sykesy right on his back, trying to do as much damage as possible. Velido trying to reconnect onto him as well. He's going to be using that Iron Bark, trying to get away. Because of that, Velido gets rooted up, and it looks like Joxy's going to be fine for the time being, but now he's in a position where he has no Iron Bark. Luckily for him, Barkskin is coming up, and he does have his Trinket.
And one interesting thing to point out here that you can see on your screen right now is that Mames, aka Losa, is actually playing Gnome for this, and that's something we've seen a lot of the top-level warriors do for tournaments like this, is they actually have 2 different characters that they can swap between. One is a gnome and one is a warrior, or excuse me, one is a human usually. In this case, he felt like the Escape Artist racial up against the Death Knight, the Feral Druid, probably a little bit better for him. And so far, he's managed to keep a pretty strong uptime. He's been able to keep out pretty constant pressure throughout this entire game so far. Sykesy still seems to be kind of the target of choice here. Milorado, aka Joxy, just sort of running away right now. He was in bear form there for just a second, obviously felt a little bit scared, but Sykesy still under so much pressure, down to 30% health. If he gets low, remember, there's now the execute that he has to worry about coming from Mames. If he gets too low, he could just up and die out of nowhere. So Wong just working hard right now, trying to keep Sykesy as high as possible in terms of health. Wong getting super low now as well, maybe taking a little bit too much pressure there. He's got Losa just sitting on him this entire time, down to 20% with that Saved by the Light proc active. Does manage to get out another heal onto him, but now with that Cyclone, he's going to have to use his Divine Shield. Velido gets super low and just gets dunked on. Down goes Velido, and Jail able to use this comp swap to their advantage and take another win here.
Yeah, and that looked like a very convincing game from them. I mean, even though it was 2 alt classes, the pressure they had on TURTASTIC was really so unbearable for Vincent Wong. When he had wings up, there was 2 monks in the arena chasing each other down all the time. It was awesome to watch. So I think I really liked his play, and I'm kind of sad to not see a Windwalker monk in the grand finals, but I'll take a Ret Paladin.
Yeah, I think that might have actually been Balance, was the Windwalker.
Oh, was it Balance against?
Yeah.
Too many monks today.
Yeah. Doesn't matter at this point. Here we are in the grand finals. This is what matters right now. Gates have now opened. TURTASTIC and Jail tied 1-1 in this final series. Winner of the series takes home $3,000. Loser still get $1,200, but $3,000 is a much larger number, so that's obviously what they would prefer.
Yeah, Vincent Wong going to be getting feared up right away into that trap. Of course, Evangeline still has that Hodge available. It's likely we will see that. Joxy actually deciding to stone form that initial Strangulate, the Hodge going out onto Vincent Wong, Valido, and Sykesy taking quite a bit of damage. Evangeline using that Evangeline Wrath right now. Sykesy going to get a little bit low. Vincent Wong going to go ahead and use his wings. He's going to be able to top off his team, and now Inviolable is the one that's taking quite a bit of damage. Joxy using that Pain Suppression to sort of slow down the incoming onslaught of Valido and Sykesy.
Yeah, and there's a fear on Vincent Wong, but it gets broken by a Serpent Sting, I think. So if they can't get any follow-ups right now, then that's going to be great for them. Eventually, actually having to bubble, the Incarnation is still up from Sykesy, so that they got all the damage in from it. And they've been having a really good start to this game. They might even get the deter here from Inviolable as well. So really, really good start. They got his Trinket as well, and eventually taking a ton of damage as well.
Yeah, Evangeline's still just under tons of constant pressure here. TURTASTIC is kind of finding their stride here, it seems like. Jail not really getting the opportunity to feel too confident at any point in this match thus far. We do see the Blessing of Protection going out onto Joxy just to sort of make sure that he can stay keeping his team healed up. They're trying to turn this back around onto Sykesy once again. Sykesy still taking lots of pressure. He's going to use his last Survival Instincts right there. Actually gets locked on his Cyclone as well. So there is potentially an option here. Wong's just going to go ahead and drop the Blessing of Protection onto him. Trying to get that, he's just getting locked out on those Cyclones all the time. Wong having to bubble. Is it too little, too late? No, he does manage to get out the Execution Sentence to be able to get some quick healing onto Sykesy there, but that is now every cooldown out for Wong. He's going to have his Avenging Wrath in about 15 seconds, but like we've seen before, if he has to use that before Evangeline uses his Avenging Wrath, then they just lose.
Yeah, Joxy's been healing very inefficiently, though, spamming out those MDs as well has put his mana in a very terrible situation. Vincent Wong getting feared into that stun as well, into a full trap. Sykesy needs to run away, although he has Trinket. It's going to be hard for him to actually escape. Down to 16% HP. This is very, very dangerous for him, and it looks like he is going to go out down. The DR stun coming in onto Vincent Wong from Evangeline. I mean, Evangeline had his wings coming up at around 10 seconds. They're not even hitting the Enragement timer.
Yeah.
Just like, it seems like TURTASTIC is doing so well, but they're slowly getting whittled down. And once Vincent Wong has...
We'll have to see what ends up happening here. The gates will be opening in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's just so difficult for them to sort of say, you know, we're going to be the aggressors, because every single game Joxy pushes in and he gets a full fear on Vincent Wong.
Yeah.
Like clockwork, immediately. And Vincent Wong, out of that fear, gets hodged or he gets trapped. And if he doesn't get trapped, he gets hodged. And it's just, the CC chain just is never ending on him, and immediately Sykesy, in response, has to use his Survival Instincts to reduce some of that incoming damage. And usually he uses his Incarnation in Berserk too, to make sure that they're not playing fully defensive. They are getting some offensive pressure. And there it is, Joxy pushing in, getting that full fear onto Vincent Wong. Valido getting opened up onto right away. Valido actually using that Pillar of Frost, wants to get aggressive. Joxy not in any CC at the moment. Going to be able to top off Evangeline as he does use that Avenging Wrath. Vincent Wong, though, now getting hodged up on his Avenging Wrath. Sykesy going to be in a little bit of trouble right now. He does use that Survival Instincts, but it does fade. He's dipping dangerously low. Save by the Light is going to proc on him. Vincent Wong, though, using that Execution Sentence and topping him off.
I like what Vincent Wong did there. He saved his Trinket. That's what's been troubling him the past couple rounds, is he has no Trinket, he has no bubble at the same time, but now he's going to have his Trinket later for those swaps, and it's going to make a big difference. So I'm really glad he saved that this time. I'm a little disappointed Sykesy decided to run in again and open during the first fear on Vincent Wong that they've been getting every time, but that's okay. They keep doing it. It's up to them. But Inviolable, meanwhile, taking a lot of damage, sitting at 18%, and there is the pain suppression as well. It's the first to Turgon. They're actually getting some major cooldowns because of the damage they're just putting out onto Evangeline and Inviolable here.
But Sykesy getting so low, down to 3% health. He catches a couple of heals. Somehow he's still alive. He used his last survival instincts there. That's the only thing that saved him. Wong trying to get a couple of things off. Evangeline has to use his bubble. This is all of a sudden just a crazy match. Cooldowns coming out on either side in such a big hurry. There's a full trap onto Wong. Sykesy has nothing to be able to survive through this. Wong does not have his trinket available, but Inviolable getting so low as well, having to use his last deterrence. This game is just off the rails right now. Both teams just going crazy. Evangeline and Sykesy in a race to see who can die first, and the answer is Sykesy. And down goes Sykesy. That's going to be it. Jail's going to take this 3-1. They're going to come back after being knocked to the lower bracket by TURTASTIC and be our grand champions.
Joxy did such a good job there. That entire kill stemmed off him. As soon as Vincent Wong used his bubble, Joxy immediately snap MD'd it, put him into that full fear, and he had to actually trinket. So Vincent Wong using his bubble as well as his trinket and basically getting no value out of either, because out of that fear, he ended up getting hodged into a trap, and it was just completely over at that point.
And that's what we expect on Ruins of Lorraine when we have a Ret Paladin, Death Knight, Feral,